This group must somehow form a family. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
Well, hello there.
Marcia!
Marcia, I believe we need to talk.
Oh, Dad.
Now, Marcia, I understand that you might be at the age where boys seem...
Isn't he dreamy?
Yeah, dreamy.
Just like Davy Jones.
Now, Marcia, you know boys aren't allowed in your
I
square.
know, Dad, but John just stopped by and
Oh, Marcia, you can't just let boys into your square whenever they stop by.
That's right, honey. You know, boys are only allowed in the living room and only when your mother and I are present.
But Greg had a girl in his square last week when you were working late.
I'm sure Greg did no such thing.
Well, actually, Mike, he did.
Now, I know my boys, and my boys would never do anything like that.
Dinner's ready. Well, maybe you don't know your boys as well as you thought.
Marcia, go to your room.
Sure, take his side instead of your own daughter's.
Gee, Marcia, what's wrong?
Oh, Mom's taking Dad's side again. They just don't understand me.
Wow, I really wish I could have a boy in my square.
Oh, get real, Jan. That's a nice thought, but let's be realistic. That's never going to happen.
What?
Marcia! Marcia!
Oh, it's always Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Yeah, Greg, I'm in here.
I can't believe you had a boy in your square.
What about the girl you had last week?
Yeah, but Dad was gone. And besides, I'm a boy.
What does that have to do with anything?
Gee, Marcia, I don't know what the trouble is. I had Mr. Whiskers in my box just the other day.
Mr. Whiskers is a cat.
So, he's still a boy. Gee, Marcia, Mom and Dad are really upset. I haven't seen them like this since Greg broke your nose.
Oh, my nose!
Way to go, Pipsqueak.
But this is so unfair. Why didn't Greg get in trouble when he had a girl in his square last week?
Because Greg can do what he wants to do.
Why? Because he's a boy?
Yeah!
Yeah!
That is so unfair.
Yeah!
What you have to worry about anyway, Jan. It's not like you'll ever have a boy in your square.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Well, what girl's gonna want to be in your square when your voice is all squeaky like that? Dinner's ready!
Oh boy, I hope it's applesauce and pork chops. That would be swell.
Marcia, we need to talk.
Oh, Mom, why doesn't Mike understand me?
You mean Dad?
He's not my dad.
Oh, Marcia, don't talk that way. The 8 of us need to work together as a family.
Marcia, I know you're upset. I'm not saying you can't see boys. You just can't have them in your square.
Why should I listen to him when he treats his sons differently?
Now, Marcia, I don't know what you mean by that, but surely you don't mean it.
But Greg had a girl in his square, and you didn't do anything.
Well, apparently I wasn't here. And if it did happen, I'm sure your mother took care of it or would have told me about it.
I did tell you.
I'm sure it slipped your mind.
When you came home from work, I told you, and you just laughed.
Well, why didn't you just take care of it when it happened?
So now raising the children is my sole responsibility?
That's not what I meant.
That's fine. You can just go to work, and Alice and I will raise my 3 daughters and your sons too.
Now, Carol, I thought we discussed this.
Dinner's ready!
In a minute!
In a minute!
Now, Marcia, we care about you. We just don't want anything to happen to you. Do you understand?
Yeah, I guess so. But what about Greg?
I'll handle Greg. Let's focus on you. It's important to remember, there's certain rules here, young lady. I know I can't take the place of your father, but...
Hi, my name's Peter. What's yours?
Family meeting. Now, family. I think we've all learned an important lesson today.
Yeah, I guess I can't have girls in my square.
That's right, Peter. And it's important to remember that we need to work together as a team. We need to love, care, and respect one another. And as we respect one another, we build the bonds of togetherness. And in that togetherness, that's where we find love. And in that love, there's great care and respect for an individual's individuality, which only promotes the collective good. Now do we all understand?
Yeah, sure, Dad.
Sure, Dad.
Great. Now before we eat, could we all try to forgive one another?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well, I want to know who is going to forgive Tiger for eating all the pork chops.
Oh,